What's up, moviegoers? This is Showbiz Meet the Stars, and today we're going to talk about the hottest trending topic in moviedom, and that is the Blade reboot or the coming back of the one and only Wesley Snipes as Blade. Okay, so that's the trending topic that's been going. Everywhere you look on YouTube, there's a Blade they're watching the Blade movies, or they, first time watching for Blade movies. There's, Blade is everywhere in the MCU. People in the MCU talking about Blade. It's Blade-mania basically that's going on right now on social media. Okay, so I figure I put my 2 cents in it. So here it is. This is my my idea as to what we should do with Blade next. And this is it right here. You can see that image. And that's Blade, Morbius, and Underworld quantum crossover. Okay? There it is. If Marvel and if they want to make some money, they would do a Blade Morbius. Blade and Morbius is in the same universe. They're in the Marvel universe, right? Selene, she's not in the Marvel universe, but there's no reason why we couldn't have some type of a crossover, which is why I'm calling it the quantum crossover, where, maybe Blade and Morbius could team up, go over, travel to some kind of portal to the underworld universe. And there you have Blade, Selene, and Morbius fighting lichens, werewolves. That would be an epic crossover, I would think. And that would, the fans will come out in droves. Because right now you're looking at actually 3 of my favorite vampires, Blade, Selene, and maybe, Morbius. Even though we haven't seen much of him, but I used to like him from the comic books. So, there's no reason why we can't have this movie, this crossover, or a series of movies, actually, because, at the end of the day, the Blade franchise ended so abruptly and so, haphazardly. That could have went on, Blade could have went on for, at least 3 more movies, okay, there's no reason why at the end of 3, they could have made more movies, and this franchise could have been ongoing. Like some other franchises that we'll see, and like Dominic Toretto in his franchise. So at the end of the day, there's no reason why the Blade franchise can't continue. Now, a lot of people out there talking about age and, Blade is, they're making, because, as you all know, they have the Ali reboot and they've been trying to make for the past 10 years. Still hasn't come to fruition. And so a lot of people out there talking about age and how Blade is old and this and that. Not Blade, but Wesley Snipes. Okay. But at the end of the day, we have to understand something. In the vampire universe, let's just call it that. A vampire doesn't get weaker when he gets older; he gets stronger, right? We all know that. In the vampire universe, the older a vampire gets, the more powerful and more experienced he gets. So basically, then Blade, that we saw in the Wolverine Deadpool movie, that Blade that have been more powerful and more experienced than the Blade that we saw in the Blade movies. So Blade's power should only increase when he gets older, not decrease. Granted, he's not a full-on vampire in the sense that, according to the lore, he's supposedly aged, somewhat like humans, as opposed to he doesn't last as long as a vampire. We don't know how long a vampire is supposed to last. Technically, a vampire is supposed to be immortal, more or less. As long as they don't get killed, it's supposed to be able to live forever, basically. So, if Blade is half vampire, then, you should at least live to be, maybe a couple thousand years. Okay, technically speaking, even though he's half vampire, he might not age as slow as vampires, or not age at all like vampires don't age. But if he's half vampire, then he might, at least half as slowly as vampires. But he shouldn't be able. He shouldn't be aging as quick as a regular human being. Well, that wouldn't really make any sense, in the vampire universe. So Blade should age slower, and so, for example, in the Wolverine and Deadpool, they had Blade with a little gray hair in the front of his head and a little bit in the back, where they show a little gray, as if to say he's aging. But really and truly, he shouldn't be any gray, because he shouldn't be aged that, let's say Blade is 62 years old, as the same age as Wesley Snipes, for example. A Blade at 62 and a Blade at 32 shouldn't look any really different. Okay? At the end of the day, if you're gonna go by vampire lore, I mean, that's nothing. I mean, Blade should be you shouldn't start to see any aging in Blade clip somewhere around 400 years old. You might see a little bit of gray that you see now. Okay, I mean, Blade should be able to live. His lifespan should be longer than Wolverine, who, according to him, is 200 years old. He's 200 years. He has seen 200 years or more. So Blade should, technically live longer than Wolverine. Now, another thing is that, again, as Blade gets older and his powers, increase, his healing factor should also, be faster. Okay, because if he's more, he's more powerful the older he gets, and he gets stronger, and so his healing factor should be almost as fast, if not as fast, as Deadpool and Wolverine. So this, I think people get this whole thing wrong when it comes to Blade about the age thing. They keep talking about age as if it's an issue with Blade, but it shouldn't be an issue because, like, again, Blade is a vampire, a half vampire, so age shouldn't be a problem with him. The older you get, you should get more powerful, okay? Until you reach a certain threshold, I would think. So yeah, so here's my idea for the new Blade reboot for, to get Blade back into the action, because a lot of people are looking to see more Blade. They can't get enough of Blade. And if Marvel's smart, they'll jump on this bandwagon immediately and start running with it. They could make 3 more Blade movies, okay? And they could incorporate Morbius. They should incorporate Morbius, because Morbius needs some publicity, and you need a little more oomph. And adding him to the Blade universe, or putting him and Blade together would be great for Morbius. I mean, it would do more for Morbius than it would do for Blade, because Blade already have his fan base, and his fan base is pretty extensive. Okay, even though we haven't seen a Blade movie in so many years. Over 20-something years, right? So except for the Wolverine, Deadpool, and we always saw how popular that was. So people are really, looking to see more Blade. Now, I mean, I granted, you're in Hollywood, they talk about Wesley Snipes being difficult to work with, this and that. But I mean, at the end of the day, most of these actors are divas anyway. Okay, we all know that Wesley Snipes is not. If Wesley Snipes is a diva, okay, as they're claiming. And I doubt if that's the case, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we all know, it's difficult to be a black diva in Hollywood at the end of the day. But, at the end of the day, I don't think he's a diva. I just think that, it's their Hollywood lifestyle that's the issue. And maybe they're trying to, impose it on him, and he wasn't going for it, because according to what I'm hearing, he was supposedly, supposed to have creative control, and they was bringing all these people into the movie without his permission and without his, his input and so forth and so on. So I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if Ryan Reynolds was one of the persons that he didn't want in it, and Jeff and Ben and Beal, so we don't know if he didn't want them in it or not. Or he felt that he needed more creative control over them, bringing him, and they had the guy Patton Oswalt. I mean, I'm not sure why they brought him into the movie. So at the end of the day, a lot of people are speculating that they was trying to take away the franchise and, more or less pass it on to Ryan Reynolds, supposedly. But, I mean, it's speculation. Who knows? I mean, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. because the Blade franchise was pretty popular back then, and maybe they felt that, they wanted to, you know, who knows what these people in Hollywood think, okay? We already know what Hollywood is, okay? It's a den of hedonism and God knows what else. So, trying to navigate that as an actor, and especially as a black actor, can be a difficult proposition, for any person. So I mean, nothing surprises me that comes out of Hollywood at the end of the day. Okay, so if you could survive Hollywood, you could survive anyway. Okay, so anyway, with all that being said, this whole idea of Blade beat of Wesley Snipes is difficult. I mean, that's to me that's just that's just nonsense really, because there are a lot more bigger divas in Hollywood than Wesley Snipes. If he was a diva, I mean, I don't know if he had how could he have gotten to the status of a diva if they canceled him so quickly? Okay, now granted, it was a lot easier to cancel people back then than it is to cancel them now, because it might be easy depending on how you look at it. But typically nowadays, these because of social media, these fans, they uphold and support and defend, their actors, and so it's a lot harder. They have dedicated people who keep their the actor that they like in front of the camera and on the internet, and so it's probably a little more difficult to just get rid of an actor, just cast them outright, like before, when the only outlet we had, access we had to the actors was the major mainstream media, which, as we all know, is corrupt to the core, and they used to make and break actors and actresses. Okay, now they can't do it anymore because they don't have that kind of power. As a matter of fact, some of these fans have more power than some of these media outlets. At the end of the day, when it comes to spreading the message for their for as fans for certain actors. So yeah, a lot of these people have more reach. Okay, because again, American the media, in some cases have a national reach, or they might have a regional reach, or they might have a local reach. Whereas, you go on the internet, you have an international reach, as well as a local, national, regional. Okay, so it is what it is. But yeah, I would love to see a Wesley Snipes and Selene crossover, and if it could include Morbius in that as well. I mean, that would be the cherry on top. Now, a Morbius, Wesley Snipes movie would be great as well. But like I said, if they could include Selene in that in some kind of way, I mean, that would be massive. It would be epic. And I think that would get a lot of viewers for a movie where you have Morbius, Selene from Underworld, and, Wesley Snipes as Blade. I mean, that would be massive. We're talking epic, massive viewership. I mean, so again, that's my idea. Okay, I would love to see something like that. It's not the Selene Blade crossover thing is not an original idea of mine. I mean, there's here it is right here. Why the Blade? It's an article. Why the Blade crossover never happened. You can go and check it out. But it's written by Michael John Petty. And he's talking about the Blade. It was supposed to be a crossover between Blade and Selene in Underworld, and they talked about it and they even planned for it, but it just never happened for whatever reason. Probably the fact that they canceled Wesley Snipes. So that's basically what it comes down to. So yeah, this crossover was talked about a couple of years ago. And again, it never really came to fruition because of whatever reason. But like I said, I think it's mostly because they canceled Blade. And then, the Underworld series had a pretty good run. Okay, it went for a good while. I think she had made like 4 or 5 or 6 movies. I don't remember how many exactly. But I mean, basically, it looked like, Selene from the Underworld was basically a Blade, uh, spin-off at the end of the day. Without without an actual appearances by Blade in the spin-off. But imagine if that would have happened. That would have been great. But, again, they just dissed Blade and just threw him to the side. And then now they're trying to reboot it by bringing in other actors like Mahershala Ali, when everybody knows that there's only one Blade. So, you know, uh, yeah, I mean, just think about it. That would have been a great crossover if we could have had our spin-off and could have Blade and Selene together. We could still have that if these, movie execs and these companies would get their shit together at the end of the day. I mean, so let's hope that we can see something like that. At least, if not a Selene Blade, at least a Morbius Blade, okay? But me personally, I would think that a team up between Blade and Morbius to go to the Underworld universe and battle Lycans with Selene would be a great movie to be made. I mean, that would be epic, like I said. I would love to see something like that. But, who knows if these these movie studios are smart enough to understand something like that, they need to just go ahead and hire me as consultant if they really want to make a good Blade movie, because, I mean, I can make them a blockbuster. Yeah, so let's hope that something like that happens. And me personally, I would love to see it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that would want to see something like that, So Ryan Reynolds has been pushing for this Blade thing for a while now, and good for him. He seems to know what the people want out there, and obviously he knows what he's talking about, because you see the success of his own movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, and did over $1 billion, go on this way to 1.5 billion at this point. Probably past that by now. Who knows? So yeah, you know what he's talking about. He know what he got the pulse on the what the people want out there, and they should probably just go ahead and listen to him, and bring Blade back, the real Blade, the one and only Blade. Okay, bring him back. They're trying to bring this Mahershala Ali guy in. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a good actor, but again, who are you gonna bring in to replace Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man? Who? Yeah, I just don't see how Mahershala Ali would be able to outplay Blade, because at the end of the day, the character Blade is Wesley Snipes. I mean, he's put so much into that character, that it's gonna be difficult for anybody else to play the character and be believable. Okay, I mean, Wesley Snipes is a great actor. I'm sure Mahershala Ali is a great actor as well. But at the end of the day, Wesley Snipes, the essence of Wesley Snipes is, embedded into the Blade character. And, that's a testament to the acting skills and to the dedication of Wesley Snipes himself. And we have to commend him, for doing that. Where he actually played that character was, impressive. And, I don't really see any reason why he can't continue to play the character. Like I said, people keep talking about this age nonsense, when at the end of the day, vampires get older, they get stronger. So Blade should be stronger than he was when he was younger. If you're gonna go by vampire lore, at the end of the day, being around longer, more experience, and also he should be stronger, because in vampire lore, the older they get, the more powerful they get, and the stronger they get, the more experience they get. So so that whole age thing is a dead herring at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know why people even bring it up, but they don't really know anything about vampires, or they don't understand the Blade universe. So that's basically what it comes down to. But yeah, so this is my input. I hope somebody out there from Marvel is listening and seeing what's going on with this Blade renovation that's going on out here. Revival. Should I say Blade revival? That's going on. People want to see more Blade. They're demanding to see more Blade. And if the movie industry would be smart, they would give the people more Blade. But why not give the people some Selene as well? That franchise was a great franchise. I mean, that was like I mean, they basically copied everything from Blade. And we can see by her outfit, the way, the only difference is, if he's a black man and she's a white woman, you know. So put them together, you should have a great combination, in terms of, the movie going public because, they're both beloved characters in their own way. Okay. Selene is, pretty popular among people up there, that like the vampire and all that myself. I mean, I saw all the Underworld movies, it was, as far as I'm concerned, they were pretty good. And Selene did a great job. Kate Beckinsale, okay, she did a great job in those movies. So, I wouldn't mind seeing more. And to see her and Blade and Morbius together, oh man, that would be the cherry on top. So hopefully these studios are listening. We're gonna see some Blade, more Blade, and we might get some Morbius and Blade. Or we might get some, we might get some Selene and Blade, all three together. As far as I'm concerned, that would be the best thing that could happen. And hopefully these movie studios are listening and they'll come up with something like that because, it looks like these people don't really have much imagination at the end of the day. They keep trying to make over the same old, the movies. It look like they're running into some kind of, there's a cultural deficit. Some of the best movies nowadays are being made from, in different countries, foreign movies. Some of them are the best movies. And, it's like we're getting, when it comes to Hollywood, all we're getting is the same old, same old, same old, same old. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But at the end of the day, people, I want to keep the focus on Blade. And again, if people want to see more Blade, and hopefully these movie industries who love to give us what we don't ask for will actually give us something that we're asking for. And, let's hope that's what happens. But until then, keep up the request for more Blade, and hopefully we'll see it sooner rather than later. With that said, this is Showbiz Media Stars saying, I see you on the next one.